What's going on, everybody? This is Jordan with Conquer Trading and Investing, and I'm just so happy to be here with you all. What a beautiful morning, beautiful day to everyone, seeing everyone across the globe. Wow, I feel truly, truly, truly blessed to share this experience with all of you. I am thankful. I am grateful. So excited to look at the markets this Wednesday morning. We are waiting on the FOMC today. We are also looking at the top tech executives headed to Washington for a little bit of a circus, but for no real reason. Let's see if tech is able to rise out of that once that's over with. Sean, we'll take a look at Bitcoin this morning. That's for sure. That's right, Tom, and everybody. Thanks for smashing that like button this morning as we get started, helping the channel with the Google algorithm. And I do appreciate the support. Let's take a look. By the way, Bitcoin is looking nice, holding 11,000 this morning. Looking pretty good. Look at this trend line I added in last night. We're going to have some fun, just fun in a moment. And that will actually give us some potential price targets to look at. We'll get into that in 1 second. First, let's get a quick look around. We see the Euro US dollar is holding this trend line resistance we're all familiar with. This is the big one. This is a 12-year trend line break over here. And if it rises out right now, you can see over here was the trigger. As it rises out, it has the potential of extending a little bit further. The Fed needs to be ultra dovish today. The market already expects the Fed to be dovish, which means the Fed needs to be even more dovish. Let's see if they deliver. Actually, it'd be fun to watch the press conference today. We're looking at the dollar testing over here. We were looking at yesterday. If it came back and tested 93.48 lows, it would be on jeopardy of making another leg down. That could possibly happen. We were looking, and how much further down could we go, by the way? Where do we have some does this really open up the downside now? Let's see what happens. We got a little more noise to clear through. Maybe 92.50 looks like the next little bit of local support. So let's see what happens today. Markets are a little bit bid today. barely holding that center trend line over here. And I want you to take a look at this as we get started this morning, because as we look at Bitcoin right now, we're in a little bit. This is going to be, you notice how I had this trend line over here, and this maintains to be our prime trend line, meaning if that breaks to the downside, then we're going to be cautious for a downside impulse. We cloned this trend line, and then, whether we have this one up here right now where it is, or we move that to, to right there where it's touching there. It's the angle of these cloned trend lines that play throughout. So I want to show you why it's in our head. Let me just stop off at Bitcoin. As I was playing with this last night, I cloned this trend line down here. This is the trend line. I was using this, right? We touched over here, right? I was using this trend line. I cloned it, and now I have it up here. This is the trend line I see this morning, by the way, that we are holding. That's what we all know. The 10,400 resistance was broken, right? That then, after it was broken, became support. I just moved it up about $100 is all, $150 to put it where it's a little more appropriate now, a little bit below this spike down over here. That's what I believe is the new support. But now I added this trend line. Here's the touch. Look at the touches over here, the trend line. And you can see over here, now that's becoming support. So that's helpful. I pay more attention to the horizontal support and resistance than I do the trend lines. But watch what happens. We're going to clone this again. So you can get another one. And you can see over here, that was support, right? Then it was resistance. I didn't even do anything. So you could see over here, is that an area to watch for? Yes. But everybody knows that if you break that, and that's not any type of strong resistance. It's just like a line to lean off of. Here's the next one. Here's the top. The top. What happens if I go back? Not too much. There it was, resistance. It's a line. Is that something to target on the near term over here? You can see the resistance horizontally at 1228, right? So 1228 right now, if we were to push up today, that's probably an area to look for take profit. So this works, by the way, not just there. Let me finish this off with saying, let's say that we were to use this line and have it all the way, look over here. I just placed that line connecting that resistance. It connects to that resistance. All right, let me move it down a touch. Oh. All right, now what happens if I go like this? And let me just copy it. By the way, thumbs up if you appreciate a look at this right now. Just smash that thumbs up. Go ahead and show me. Otherwise, I just won't share with you. I'll just keep it to I had fun last night doing this. What happens if I just extend that That's pretty good resistance line over there. You see it? What happens as we come up over here, right? Well, if it was that could be a good line come next year as we go into the new high, right? Whether or not we make the new high like gold did and then pull back, or just below it or right around it. But over here, I think we're going to have a pretty decent sized pullback once we get up there. It's probably early January 2021. So it's where's January 2021 over here? Yeah, look at January, February. This is where I expect this to be. This trend line at that point could be very useful for us. So either which way, I got a little more into it with my, exploring these different lines and levels. Look what happens if you just go like this. I could take this line right here, move it over here, right? You could see this was the resistance. This was the support. Resistance. Is that going to play? Is that where we top out over here when I say we're coming into 14,000 as the next target? Is that trend line going to be helpful on our way up? I believe it is. I pay more attention to the horizontal support and resistance. And when I say that, here's what I mean. Like, if we were to get a breakdown right here today of this trend line over here, I have the support right under it of 3123. So a break of this, maybe we look over here, peak below it. This is the important break right now. Now, as we continue rising up, let's say that, we come out and we're trading in September and we're above 32 right here. This support I have right over here that we're trading at market right now. What happens if price is above this trend line and then breaks the trend line up here? Well, then it's no longer 3123. That's the support I'm looking for the confirmation. It's this one up here because this is rising. as price continues to rise up. All right. Boom, 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 boom. Well, Sean. Let me just catch up on a couple of comments from you all this morning to see where you're at as we get. By the way, we're in July. We got the FOMC meeting today, which means that the markets are kind of like taking a breather going into the FOMC. The FOMC is not going to be a make or break it, by any means whatsoever. But I do believe we're going to see a very, 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 very dovish Fed, and we'll see how the markets react. That's what's important. It's not whether if the Fed is going to be hawkish today, which of course they're not, if they're going to be ultra dovish, which they are. It matters how the market then reacts to the news event. A lot of people get that flip-flopped. They try to think that if they could predict what is going to happen, they could predict then the move of the market. No. Pay attention to how the market reacts itself to what the news is, and then you have the clue that you need to keep going. So again, we have the tech companies meeting over here in Washington, D.C. today. I see, by the way, this looks to me like a bull flag potentially developing over here, right? This should be pulled back down a little bit. Excuse me. That's there. That's a pretty bullish formation. We could be breaking out of there today. We'll see. If we break out of there, then it looks like we're testing the all-time high on the Nasdaq. Now, this is a funny tweet. It said, take it tongue-in-cheek, but it's also true. The modern ultra-billionaire is someone who feels a right in many cases to privately govern the people of the United States. Bloomberg has this article talking about how both Bezos, Zuckerberg, and Musk have made $115 billion this year, right? What else were we looking? I was looking at some data over here. Nothing to share with you in regards to whether Sweden did the right thing or not. But here's a chart back to back of a similar economy. You're looking at Sweden and Norway, and you can see, although Sweden did better than the bigger economies, such like France, UK, US, or Italy, it was basically in line with Norway. That to me was kind of important. Last thing I want to share with you before we get back into the charts. I feel like when I generally don't really participate in the conversation with others because I just seem to have different, information sources than they do. And, differences of opinion. This is something that I took with me this morning, so I want to share it with you. It talks about the small difference between what's going on with the virus in Europe and the US and how it's impacting sports. The English Premier League announced that during this past week of July 26, 1,600 players and club staff were tested for COVID-19 and 0 tested positive. The American baseball season had issues with the Miami Marlins, temporarily suspended play. 17 of their 30 players, one club, they tested 1,600 players and staff. No one tested positive. More than half of the players infected with the season, right? So, by the way, it goes on, and this is really important. It says, overall, the U.S. economy is seeing some slowing in the highly affected western states, such as California and Arizona. Both states saw their blah, blah, blah. The efforts to suppress the virus, well, I don't know if this is the efforts to suppress it or the natural effects, are likely to start showing in the macro data within the next few weeks. This is indicating, and this is the line I picked up on right over here, that we might be seeing the peak of this wave at least, and the next few weeks should see a rapid decline in cases, as you generally see, right? As whether it was Arizona, New York City, Italy, Spain, when they start beating it, it goes down rapidly. So the next few weeks should be looking a little better and brighter, and hopeful news, as long as it's not just to confirm a bias, but real, is really welcomed by us all. So I wanted to share that with you. It remains, Reza, I just saw that comment. We'll look at that in just a minute. Stefan, I don't ever follow volume. I do not ever consider volume. Not saying that you shouldn't. I don't. What's going on? Greetings. Yeah, we'll get further. Let's get into what Bitcoin is doing as well. First, we're going to talk about the dollar, and then we'll look if, by the way, is an inverse head and shoulders on Bitcoin. I want to check that out, Reza. Let's check that out. But first, the dollar, right? Continues to be the dollar story. The dollar continues to weaken. What's going to happen with the FOMC today? We're not even looking right now for any signs of the dollar reversing. And that does not mean that the dollar cannot trade, back up into this trend line. This trend line is now resistance, or should be resistance. And then you have this trend line over here, resistance. So that's all possible. But that's not a turn in the dollar. That trend line on the dollar and the DXY I want you to see, that's coming in from down over here. I have the correct trend line. Brent Johnson does not, but it's true. That's the trend line we're looking for. Gold and silver before we get into Bitcoin. Let's see what gold is doing over here. Watch gold here. This is consolidating so beautifully up here, rising up, taking another run at all-time highs. After that big pullback on gold, if it is able, things seem to be transpiring a little bit quicker. If we are able to break above that to new all-time highs, and that point, I don't know. I know gold is overbought here. It could run. I can only follow what's going on the charts. I don't really care if it makes sense or not. I'm just following what's happening on the charts. Same thing with silver over here. Another run at 24.50. It has the potential now to break back above. What are we targeting? What is silver targeting above here, though, by the way? It's pretty high. We're looking, somewhere around the $29 area, 29.48 I have over there. So that's a significant move. A little bit of resistance at 26.81. I presume 26.81 is where we go into pretty quickly if we make a new all-time high on silver. Let's look at Bitcoin over here. The reason I want to look at Bitcoin, by the way, Euro is doing its best to go ahead and hold this trend line over here. Resuming out of it, it looks pretty bullish over here. Dollar continues to be weighed on. We will watch it today. That's what's exciting. Not only is there always opportunity, the situation's ever unfolding. Bitcoin, are we looking at a reverse head and shoulders? What time frame, Reza, were you looking at, by the way? I just saw someone, right? So much fun. Just everyone, just general heads up out of just the way it is. I'm not able to see why I'm going over the analysis. A lot of the comments, because I'm focused and dialed in on just going over these charts, and that's what I'm focused in on and reading. We'll look at the yen. Not too much is going on with the yen. Precious metals. How long do we think the FOMC announcement is always at 2 p.m. Eastern time, followed by the press conference a half hour later. I use Forex Factory Calendar when I'm looking for information on news events such as that. So, how long do bull markets and precious metals generally last? Or you can look at how long did the last one last? When 2008 QE started in December, that went through 2011, a couple of years. Now, the reason that the bull market ended was because at that point, we looked like the economy was on a pretty good footing and we were going to see lots of growth. So we went away from the precious metals. Here you go. It was, exactly two years later in September of 2011. It's almost 3 years, 2.5 years, call it. That's what the last one lasted. So right now, by the way, I'm not looking for when this bull market ends in gold, right? And silver, Bitcoin, we have a really strong grasp on what we're looking for. That's about 18 months away. So I'm not even concerned about it right now. Gold and silver more. Like they're going to run for the foreseeable future, right? So we're talking for the next 12 months for sure, for the next 2 years. Do we really want to look beyond 2 years? I don't. And I foresee this bull market in precious metals going on the next couple of years at least. So Japanese yen, by the way, is not doing too much. If you look at the US dollar Japanese yen, right, that has broken down. The support over here, that's strong. The yen is stronger than the dollar. That's not saying much. And this has not really gone anywhere anyway over the past several weeks. there are much more exciting places to be focused. So the Japanese yen, you could see it today. Pound is up, very nice. Some people in the Telegram group this morning were talking about an entry taken on the pound Japanese yen. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful trade. You can see the euro also up versus the yen today, as is the Australian dollar. The yen is not really a currency that I am focused in on for a while now, for the past month. It's a dollar story. The dollar is what's exciting right now. That's where the trade has been. The yen comes back into play and strongly if we go into risk off. I don't see risk off happening. Again, looking at the bigger picture, right? This is what I see. I noticed very clearly at the height of this new summer escalation in virus cases, the market was not concerned at all. The biggest thing for the market to be concerned about, watch that on the Australian dollar, Japanese yen later. By the way, I'm still holding long. I'm looking for, let's talk about trade management really quick. I had taken this trade, was into the resistance, took a small piece off as profit, but was holding on the larger portion of my position. It then really dived down back into the trendline support, barely just above my stop loss at break even. Do I wish I would have had taken profit up here? Yeah, if I could predict the future, I would have done that, but I can't do that at all. I can't predict the future, so I have no way of knowing. So what I do, what I'm trying to always do, is to push my trades multiple support and resistance levels, right? You can't do that if I'm taking profit exactly as far away as my stop loss is. That's a losing man's game. That's not how it works. You really have to be okay. Thankfully it didn't get stopped out. Great. But if it did, that's just part of trading. You have to really be in the mindset and understand that a portion of your trades that you take that were into profit are going to get stopped out at break even. Take them. That's how you end up on the profitable side. Do we get another question for the FOMC? It's at 12 o'clock p.m. Eastern time. 2 p.m. Eastern time, followed by the press conference 30 minutes later. No, I own gold and silver for not a decade yet, but close to it. The physical stuff I bought in a long time ago. I haven't added to a physical purchase in a long time. When I talk about buying, it's trading the paper market for gold and silver. But I'm more focused right now, obviously, on the FX currency pairs, which is where I'm making that constant return. And then I'm also looking, obviously, heavily focused in on Bitcoin. Precious metals, you got to own some as insurance. Thank you, Michael. Thank you, Michael. Nothing. I think it's just a sideshow. I don't think anything about that. Nothing's going to happen out of there. So let's talk about Bitcoin really quick before we go any further. And we're going to go a lot further. By the way, thanks for everyone being here today. So happy to be online here with you. Summer has been fantastic. Let's make sure these next few weeks, as August comes up, that we stay sharp in case the markets start consolidating, that we're on top of it. Always be aware of your surroundings. We're coming off a big expansion. I'm talking about FX right now. I'm talking about currency pairs. We're coming off a big expansion. Look for some consolidation soon. Jason, that's a good one. We'll look at that. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, Pumbis, there's only one master, and that is the Lord. The Lord. Are you looking at rising wedge? So here, let me just see what I look at over here. Let me first. Wow, it's been a long time since I looked at the pound Swiss franc, right? This looks to me like Jason, you're coming into an area of resistance over here. So it's kind of sideways. I don't trade these markets that are sideways. I stay away. Could you buy off of support and sell off resistance in a sideways market? Yep. Should you be looking to sell this resistance then as you come into it? Yep. If it breaks out over here, then at that point, then you could say, all right, now this is now expanded up a level. Now I want to get involved, and you look for a retest and then resumption out of there. That's the trade I would be looking for. I wouldn't take the rejection of the resistance in a sideways market. But I don't see a rising wedge so much. If you're looking for, is that a channel? You know, kind of, sort of. That might be a good way to look for a profit target for your first resistance on the way up, which also would come right there. That's where you would be looking to move your stop loss to break even. Maybe take a little piece off. No, Link is not inversely. The way that cryptocurrencies work is that it's like gold and silver. We've looked at how gold does the hard work. We looked at gold doing the hard work right into the new all-time. Let me look at a gold chart because we're talking back far now. Gold did all the hard work over here, right? Coming up to yearly highs. Then silver followed. Then gold did all the hard work again, leading to the upside. And then silver makes these huge, huge parabolic gains to catch up. It's the same way with Bitcoin. Bitcoin leads, and then money flows out of Bitcoin. It doesn't have to go in this order. And I don't know if anyone sent me the memo each day of what the order was, then I would clean up. But I'm not privy to that. But generally what happens is Bitcoin does the hard work. Money then flows into maybe large cap like Ethereum. And then usually goes down towards Litecoin, EOS, XRP. You can see right here today, XRP and EOS leading together. It then goes into mid caps like Tezos and LinkedIn, and then after that, beyond that, even Monero, and then down into like the penny stocks. So they don't usually move up necessarily in unison. Normally, you'll see Bitcoin, put on a big move, followed by the altcoins. So once Bitcoin starts to consolidate, and I don't really think it's consolidating yet, right? A consolidation will look like a prolonged period, right? Like we saw this consolidation period. This went on for a long time, right? And that's why we're looking at a big move over here. And I think we could even go a little bit further right now. So once Bitcoin does start consolidating, look for some bigger movers in altcoins. But listen, I have a little bit money in Ethereum, in Linked, in Tezos. The only thing that I'm focused on is like in the future when they have big drawdowns, adding to them. Those are long-term positions for me. Those are not trades. Those are long-term positions that I'm looking to sell at the end of the alt season, which is after the end of Bitcoin. Alt season peaks out, about a month after Bitcoin does. So those are long-term trades. If you're watching, the only thing that you should be watching for right now is, and this is when I first got in, this was a big pullback we saw, right? 20%. I jumped in. And that's the case. What happens now if we go back down into the support, down 30%? I'm jumping in, right? And then if this thing trades up much higher and then pulls back another 20, 30%, I'll be jumping back in and picking up more as that continues to rise in price. That's my plan. No, nothing. The thing about BTC is that you own the private keys. You don't have a third party. They're not the same thing. But within the public markets, GBTC is the best play you could get on Bitcoin. Yeah, I don't trade the DAX. I don't follow the DAX because the DAX is basically just tracking the U.S. equity markets. There's no difference. Right? So if you're following the S&P, then you're following the DAX. If you're following, they're almost exactly correlated. So I follow the S&P, and you could use the analysis that I give on the S&P for your DAX trading. All right. I took a long this morning on the Euro US dollar, but at my signal, take the course. If you're not sure what you're looking for, it's the best investment you could ever make in your trading career. to use a vault for gold and silver. There are many vaults across the world, including a good place is Singapore. You have places in Canada as well as Utah, good places, and not only keep it in one vault, but multiple. What about Ethereum? Yeah, same thing with Ethereum. It's a long-term play. I'm planning on holding this about 18 months. So I'm only looking, my last buy-in was one over here and then another over here, something like that. I got the perfect entry on that. That's great, but I'm not really emotionally attached to that because that I plan on adding more as if this rises, once Ethereum breaks out this resistance here at 355, this thing could really begin to fly. Now, I don't know when that's going to be, but I do believe that's going to happen. And when that happens, as we rise up and we have some pullbacks, I will be continuing to build my position on all three of those. Don't follow what I'm doing. Understand what to do yourself. Look at what I'm doing. Learn from it. But I laid out how I'm approaching the bull market in precious metals and cryptocurrency and Bitcoin, because Bitcoin is its own class. Thomas Lucas, man, you got to go, brother. Sorry. Hold on one second. Let me pause here. Man, sorry, brother. All right, let's keep going over here. Why does the chart for Bitcoin and Bitcoin, well, they're trading, one's traded versus the dollar, one's traded versus the euro. Tommy, what are you going to do? All right, let's take a look at what's going on. The markets, by the way, and that's why I opened up with, but again, I opened up with the fact that the FOMC was meeting today. Generally, when you're in a FOMC day, the markets are just waiting on that, right? We're looking for not any type of trend today. We're looking for the markets to wait for the FOMC, wait for the press conference after after the press conference, when the question and answers come up, whatever direction the markets are moving then, right? At the end of the question and answers is generally where we're going through Asia. Asia is definitely known for reversing the day of a strong Fed move, and throughout London, I don't listen. I just think the Fed is going to be pretty dovish here. I don't really think it's going to be much of a market reaction. We'll see. What do I think of silver? Well, I mean, I don't try to get the bottom of a trend, and I don't try to get the top. I just try to get the sweet spot, right? Where this is where we became really involved in silver. Let me come back over here. It was over here. It was starting around the $17 level over here as price came up, right? Tested over here, pulled back into support. That's where most of the people on this channel started loading up, right? And now silver has gone up pretty far since then. This was coming into the 2450 where I said, all right, you got to look to take profits, right? When price came up to here, this big move, a lot of people thought that was the top. I put in the 2450. I said, that's where I think we should be headed. We went above there, but didn't hold it. If we get back above here now, above the 2450, do I think you get long silver if you're interested in trading silver? Yeah, of course. Your risk to reward is bazooka, right? It's a good, anyway. But my feelings on silver are not, I think Bitcoin is going to outperform silver by an extraordinarily large factor and is a much safer investment. That's what I think about silver. I'm glad I own some. It's just basically insurance. That's the way that I look at gold and silver, as insurance, right? But I look at Bitcoin as not only insurance against the traditional system over here that we have, but also as a way, as a good investment, especially as you all know how I track it around its 4-year cycle. There was a really good comment right there put up. Let me show you. Yeah. I was talking about the videos on the playlist. The videos on the Bitcoin playlist are extremely well researched and presented. Watch them and understand both the bull and bear market phase, because both offer extraordinary opportunity for us. During Bitcoin's 4-year cycle around the halving of the supply reward, there's a reason I'm dialed in and focused in on Bitcoin more than anything else. Imagine having you have the ability to trade any market that you want. You have the ability to trade any market that you want. You have to, as we continue to put edge upon edge, find the best market at the best time, and that's where you want to focus the most of your attention. Boom, 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 boom. Max, FOMC is at 2 p.m. Eastern time. The press conference is at 2:30. You could find on Forex Factory, the calendar is awesome for all type of news events. That's the only thing this week on the calendar. No, MT4, JMC, is way better than MT5. MT4 is way better. I use big bits as my currency, using the base account in Bitcoin. Listen, it's nice having X% yearly return. Do that on top of what type of return you're looking at in the next 18 months on Bitcoin. And then it's how you do it. We're here to make money at the end of the day. I don't know anything about that, and I don't have any thoughts about that whatsoever. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't put that in the description. I should have. I'll get that done for you in a minute. All right, I'm slowing down a little bit because of the flow of the market. What does that mean? Right now it is Wednesday morning in the summer. It's the middle of the summer, July 29th. It's been fantastic trading these last couple of weeks, and we're all grateful. Today is not the day. Today's not the day to attack. Today's not the day to be riding that wave. And I know, we're not just myself, but many of you are holding positions now and going on over a week. It's very nice riding those waves, but it doesn't feel like you're riding those waves. Those waves you've been riding for so long, it almost feels like you're back at the beach enjoying the sun today, just sitting out after going for a nice big session and just getting to relax for a moment and enjoy the moment. And that's what you should be doing as a trader right now and as an investor. You should just be enjoying the moment. Now's not the time to be on the prowl and attacking. Tomorrow, after FOMC's out of the way, for sure, things are back. Things are alive. I did take a trade this morning on the euro, but that was because we had a signal and I took it, right? I do have a tight stop on this one. If we trade below my parabolic trend line I have over here and below this trend line, I think at that point, then this trend line over here, the resistance is holding, and I just want to be out of that trade. I already took profits into the resistance. I get out. We bursted above and are now then testing it. And if we're resuming out, I'm getting long again. That's why I say, even though it doesn't make so much sense, because silver is so overbought into that resistance, if it breaks back above it, look at this little consolidation, boom. Little consolidation, boom. Does it have the potential to do that again? Yes, it does. As does Bitcoin here, as it consolidates here, pulled back into that trend line after the break, that could resume up as well. So if you don't want to be shorting either one of those, that's crazy skates. But you want to be looking for further extensions if the market's going to give them at the same time. Let me go ahead and get that in the description. Let me pause here one quick second. And all right. All right, it should be in the description now. You can find not only that link, all the links, including the link to BlockFi. BlockFi, by the way, I continue to use regularly. I think it is by far my favorite way to purchase Bitcoin, as well as store it there. Now, I store Bitcoin in hardware wallets. I do keep Bitcoin on exchanges, knowing that means third-party risk, including FX Choice and others. as well as BlockFi. But the Bitcoin that I keep on BlockFi, I earn 6% on. Up to 5 Bitcoin, they give 6% interest paid out yearly on your Bitcoin, over 8% on stable coins, US dollar coins. So as we transfer out of this bull market over here, because I said, this is all about understanding both the bull and bear market phase during Bitcoin's 4-year cycle, right? As we scale out of this position when it's time, right? What do you do? Are you going to put that money into gold? Are you putting that money into dollars? Most likely, for myself, a portion of that held on BlockFi in dollars, receiving 8.6% interest yearly, is for sure the way that I will be going. Either way, that's why I share it with you. I share what I do with you. Nice, Kevin. I like to see that. That's awesome. Euro US dollar, where's the next resistance? We'll look at that, JC. Let's take a quick look at that. I want to know myself. We just looked at the DXY this morning and there really wasn't any for a while, if you remember. I think that it's easier to see here on the Euro US dollar where that resistance is. And I mean, the real resistance, I guess, is coming up much higher. Wow. Let's call it the whole number for now. Let's call it 1.2. Let's call it the whole number as some big resistance. There's some other stuff to work through. But the next big level is the whole number, 1.2. So the DXY, when we said, we have some room to fall now that we've broken out this support over this just trend line over here. Where's the next big support on the DXY? I mean, is that coming down somewhere around 90.59? There could be a potential big move here on the Euro US dollar, as well as the dollar broke that trend line. Now, I'm not saying it's going to be straight down. I don't know if we first test up into that, come back up and test this trend line, make sure it's held as broken resistance, and then resume down. I don't know. I expect every trade I take to get stopped out. When I entered the trade this morning, I expected it to get stopped out. It spiked into profit, came all the way back down almost to entry. I didn't exit the trade because I don't exit the trade until my stop loss is hit. When I put my stop loss in, I did it for a reason. I did it off my original analysis. I'm not going to change that until it's hit, right? And a lot of traders, that's what happens to them. Right now, the trade's barely in profit, but a lot of traders would have exited that trade probably at a small loss. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, Mert. So this is the thing that this is a really important lesson of trading. This is why oscillators are very hard to trade alone, because generally overbought and oversold signal reverses in the market until they don't, until overbought remains overbought for a really long time. And when markets really start moving and trending, that's exactly what happens, is overbought or oversold remain so for an extended period of time. Think about an obscene example, but think about what happened in WTI. If you don't think that the WTI was oversold down here at 15, because 1450 was my last price target to the downside, right? By the way, what a year 2020 has been. We absolutely crushed January, February, March, April. We crushed WTI and the direction of it all year long. That was just the warm-up. What a great year it's been. So 1450, this was oversold, and then this kept going down. That happens. So when you see something overbought, do not try to fade it at all. Overbought and oversold can remain so for a long time. Yeah, they're offering right now a $1,000 bonus. I'm not sure of the details myself. I didn't read them. I wish I would have got it. I'll tell you that much. I'm glad you did. Thank you. That was awesome of you, Michael. Appreciate the support of the channel hugely. Thank you for that. You got to be a fan. How do you convert your dollars to Bitcoin on BlockFi. It's very simple. All you're doing when you make a wire, you send the same day wire, you put in your little code so that they know it's you. It's within an hour or two after receiving the wire credited to your BlockFi account, and it's credited as dollars on a stable coin. You then purchase Bitcoin for it. You just go to the trade section and then just choose your funds that you have in a stable coin in dollars, and then just purchase the Bitcoin with them. Nice. Bet you better than me, Adam. Beautiful. Beautiful. I was coming into that trade at the perfect timing. This was my first position. This was my second position after the break of the resistance, the retest. And I took all profit into the resistance, now adding that we've broken above it. Good job, Adam. Oh, BlockFi is not available in Europe. I did not know that. Is that true? BlockFi is not available in Europe? I do have an alternative, Vassal. I will put it together and show you tomorrow. Yeah, let's look at the Australian dollar, Japanese yen. What would cause me? Now, I took some profit into the resistance. I took a small piece off, right? And then I moved my stop loss to break even. That almost got hit. That came very close to getting hit. It didn't. I got lucky. Looks nice. I'm waiting for a breakout. I'm holding this trade for a breakout of 76.68, and then the next resistance above, I would be holding that towards this resistance over here, somewhere towards 78, somewhere towards this area, around 78.56. That's where I would be targeting. Now, if you look at this, by the way, if you come back down to the 8-hour and you look at this pattern, if you get a successful break of this triangle, we should shoot up. Maybe even beyond that, but I would take profit into that 78.50 level, as I've been holding that from down quite a ways. Gold is, I don't have any trend lines here to help you out with that, Tom, so I can't tell you, but if I'm looking at gold, there's the all-time high. There was the pullback. I didn't get that pullback. That was the pullback we were looking for, though. We spoke about that every day. It was only 3.8. We were looking between a 3 and 5% pullback. Is it possible that we still trade lower? Yeah. I don't think we're going to hit 1800 again anytime soon. So yeah, there's not much to say about gold. It at this point, I think silver might be the better trade than gold. Gold here, as it comes into new all-time highs, though, once it does break to new all-time highs, I think you want to be a part of that. First pullback on new all-time highs is the one you want to be involved in. If this starts running away, right? And listen, it's not going to go straight up. I don't think it's going. If this could consolidate over here for a period of time right now, right? Here's the low. Right? If this continues consolidating anywhere within that range, that's uber healthy for gold. I don't think gold is the play right now, personally. Silver, if it breaks here, if it breaks this resistance level, that thing could run further, and that's straight up already. But here's straight up also. It's not like you think that's parabolic. This is parabolic. I don't think we're towards that part of the stage where we're having any type of blow off top for a while. So I'm just looking for consolidation. To be honest, right now what's exciting is Bitcoin. Way over the precious metals. There's no way the precious metals are going to be able to compete with there's no way the precious metals are going to be able to compete with Bitcoin. It's just not possible. Is BlockFi safe? Any time you keep funds on a third party, you have third party risk. If you're not careful with your passwords and security, you use, of course, some type of two-factor authentication. Use safe practices, providing a whitelisted email, a Bitcoin address that only funds could be withdrawn to. That way, if someone gets a hold of your account, you have a few days. It takes 3 days to switch that whitelisted address to get your account back. There's risk with BlockFi. Do not keep all of your funds, unless it was a small amount, I guess, with BlockFi. You want to spread that risk around. Of course, there's risk, but I think there's more. I think there's more risk. By the way, BlockFi themselves, they use Gemini's cold storage. The Winklevoss brothers, the owner of the Gemini exchange out of New York, they use their cold storage. 95% of their funds, BlockFi's, are kept offline in cold storage. The risk of them getting hacked is very low. It's more about you not being smart with your own security. I mean, I don't have. So that's a hard one. Look, as we look at the DXY as an indicator to project major moves, I don't think so. I eat the same thing also with the yen index. I've tried. It doesn't work. I don't think so. I never heard of FTMO. Well, so there's a big difference. So Nicholas is saying that BlockFi sounds like BitConnect 2.0. BitConnect was a lending, quote unquote, lending platform that was paying out interest of like 30% monthly on average. BlockFi is paying out 6% yearly. So right off the bat, Nicholas, you can't compare the two. You can't compare 30% monthly to 6% yearly. That's not fair. The other thing is that no one knows who was running BitConnect, but BlockFi has some serious investors. It has Coinbase. It has the Winklevoss brothers, right? The owners of Gemini. It has Fidelity Investments. It also has Morgan Creek, Anthony Papalano, and his team. It has serious investors. It's a VC play. There's nothing similar to BlockFi and BitConnect 2.0, but it's a valid question. You want to be careful, of course. In some locations, you can't do US to BlockFi. You need to go through a stable. There you go. That's a good solution. Always, you need to be looking for creative solutions that make sense. And if you want to get money inside BlockFi, I thought BlockFi was open to almost everyone, actually. The only countries that BlockFi is not open to, from my understanding, is North Korea, Iran, and one other. North Korea, Iran. I don't know if it's Cuba or not. I don't know. But I don't think we have anyone from any of those countries here with us today. Yeah, wire cost same day wire costs like $30. Yeah, Australia, it's definitely open to, for sure. Yeah, Nicholas, I just went to great length to explain to you why it's not. If you still think that, then you have to make good decisions. Yeah, not tonight. So Brian, I was thinking about this last night. It's really poor. If you're trading, by the way, a small amount of money, and you're trying to bring in income to live off of, that's a sure path to failure in the markets. That's not how you do it. You guys, I've outlined a plan that works and works very well to get people first to break even and then to profitable, and all within an extraordinarily, not only reasonable, but fast amount of time. You have to do it on a demo first. You have to do it on a demo first. So Rob, there's a paper market and there's a physical market. There's a paper market and a physical market. There are options. You might have to buy over a certain limit if you're looking. I don't know. I bought all my coins a long time ago. I'm holding on to them. But you have if you Rob, if there's a for example, if you wanted to buy some physical gold or silver bars right now, and I don't know that there is because I'm not in the market. Let's say there was a 3 to 5 wait, a 3 to 5 week waiting period. You could put a position on in the paper market as well, a leveraged position as well. And you could, wait for that physical gold or silver to arrive and then close out your paper trade. So, you got to be creative. There's always way. I don't know, Yes, that's true. They do store, is 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 Gemini working with BitConnect 2.0? Oh, I don't know. We're going to pull back into 10,500. That would be fantastic. I don't know that we will get another pullback into that support over here. Right now, we just saw a pullback into this trend line over here. We're resuming off of it right now, right? Do you see that? If you're looking for a pullback, this was the pullback. This is now resuming off of this over here, right? You lose this trend line, then you look for a pullback to 10,500. My thoughts on Kraken is that it's a great place to buy Bitcoin. However, the process has become cumbersome and it takes way too long to get first KYC and then like through the, I forgot what they call it. Either which way, the process is BlockFi is a much, much better experience. Murray wondering whether or not that this year it's easier to be profitable. Murray, I say this truly as a friend. I do believe that simply, those that are dialed in, following the markets every day together with us here together on the channel, we're just able to see the markets clearly. And I think that helps your trading. And that is why you're able to profit. Some people have had fantastic years this year. I talk about money managers all around. And some people have had terrible years like Warren Buffett. Right? So you can't say that this year is easier or harder or anything like that. This year is actually phenomenal because why I say I don't like volatility or that I don't look for volatility, I'm looking for high probability. At the same time, we're seeing ranges expand in every single market, and it is fantastic. But I don't think, Murray, that it's necessarily this year is easier. I think that you're looking at the markets in a whole new light with a lot of clarity, and I think that's really helpful. There you go. That's awesome. Thanks for not only supporting the channel and the work we do here, but at the same time, improving your skill and learning. That's awesome. Win-win all around. No, I'm not looking at the markets crashing in August whatsoever or anything like that. We're looking at the markets rising, right? And every indication including the stimulus that's about to come, indicates the markets continue to rise, right? Let's see what happens after the election. By the way, if there's no clear winner election night, and there's a good probability there will not be, the market's not going to like that. The market might sell off on that. Now, if Trump wins the election and then all of a sudden we really start escalating tensions with China, the market might not like that. But right now, the market is kind of happy. The market is not the economy. The economy is doing horrific. The economy is not doing well. That is not the market. The market, the S&P that you're looking at right here, is basically 5 companies, right? Those 5 companies right now are all sitting before Congress today testifying. They're making a ton of money. And do you think that they're going to continue to make a ton of money? I do, right? What is that? Which way the market's probably going? Up. The liquidity's there. Follow liquidity. The Fed is not stopping its lending programs. Let's hope he won't win. I don't know. If Biden wins, then what happens? Then things between China become very amicable, right? They almost return to where they were when he was vice president. Meaning, is that good? Is that good for the world? Is that good for the America? I don't know. That's something that you need to think about. I don't really, I don't really care to get into it with anyone. But anyway, it goes back then to being able to make sure you're getting good information, reading that information, absorbing that information, and making good decisions. I was looking for where that was. There it goes. Right? This is what I'm focused in on over here. What else are we looking at? Boom, 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 boom. But we really do not need to get into the election night. We'll be talking about what the markets are doing. How about that? Election night, we'll be talking about what the markets are doing. We're waiting today for Jerome Powell. Jerome Powell goes live at 2:30 p.m. Eastern time. And then it's the question and answers portion that is the exciting part. The reason being is because the Fed is providing a statement to the market. The market, it's not going to be anything new. When they do the question and answers and people ask the Fed chairman a question, his answer could provide information the market is not considered. And that could provide some really whipsaw price action. Yeah, Tom, you could sign up right now. There's a link below in the description below. It's not too late at all. And a lot of the program is phenomenal. There's nothing else to say. The program is truly I can't imagine a better resource in this career. I don't think it's going to be an event. Maybe I'm wrong. I think it's going to be a non-event. I think that he needs to come in and be ultra dovish today, and I think he's going to. The last election was one of my greatest nights of trading ever. It was fantastic. Thanks. That's all from Brad, Miguel. That's all from Brad. Brad did that. He took the course, and then he was like, you know what? Let me build you a website. This is awesome. All right. I think we have a pretty good handle this morning on what's going on. I mean, listen, this is the most important thing today that I just want to, anyone's new, if you're new here just joining us, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and join us. All we're doing is looking at the markets every day and trying to keep all of us on the right side of the markets. And we do a really good job of that. Everyone here has a very clear and firm understanding of the overall picture of the markets, what's happening, where the flows are, and what side of the trade they need to be on. That is so important. If you look around, and I'm sure you guys look around, right? Someone said that they were going to turn on Bloomberg this morning and decided, no, well, let me actually turn on somewhere where I could get some insightful information. People are just really confused and on all over the place. We have clarity. Clarity is really important. That's what we're going to do. We're going to keep all of us on the right side of the markets. And then hopefully, like Murray was saying, is it just easier this year to be profitable? No, it's just that we're working together, and that's awesome. All right, everyone. I think because it is the summer and it's a summer session here today, that we're going to just go ahead and ride this out. And it's a nice time. It's a really, 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 really nice time. Holding on to some nice long trades, some profitable trades, being on some precious metals, Bitcoin, cryptocurrency. Thank you, man. Thanks for that show of support over there. I do appreciate you very much. Thanks for everyone supporting the channel. Thanks for everyone being here today. Thanks for everyone here today. I think he's going to be ultra dovish. There's no way he will be hawkish. Actually, the last time he spoke, he said they're not even considering when to consider raising rates. You cannot get any more dovish than that. Have a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful day, everybody. Listen, as corny as it may sound, just go out of your way just to smile at someone today. Probably the best, someone within your own circle, the closest circle to you. Just for no reason, just smile at that person and watch them smile back. Just try to be the light to others, lift everyone up, and you'll find that by creating happiness around you, you create happiness for yourself. That's what this place is. We've created a beautiful environment, and it's because of each and every one of you, and I'm really grateful for that. So That's right, Sean. Peace out. Have a beautiful day, everyone. Nice, Tom. So dovish just means that they're keeping this easy environment. A lot of liquidity going. They have QE going right now. They're not looking to raise interest rates. Dovish is just really they're looking to let the doves fly here. Jordan, God bless you too. Thank you very much.